Are these guys in Washington totally insane? This just happened. The United States in one day added $275 billion to our national debt. Look at that massive wall in one afternoon. What the hell happened? Well, Social Security checks had to go out that day. But come on, guys. We are watching the decline of an empire happening in real time. So I'll ask you guys, are these guys in Washington playing with fire? Do they have a death wish? But hold on to your answer. You can answer that in a second, because I'm going to show you an amazing few pieces of news that show you how the United States and Western governments right now are playing nuclear suicide against Russia. So if you're an investor, you need to pay attention to what I'm about to show you, because this is a massive debt and energy crisis of our own making. This is a self-inflicted wound. We'll get there in a moment. But first, last week something happened that most people didn't even notice. It was such a small news item hidden behind the drama of a government shutdown and President Trump being hauled off to court. In fact, it only happened for a few minutes. But in that few minutes, it sent shockwaves through the energy markets. A small piece of breaking news leaked on Twitter from Forbes magazine, and it showed the Russian uranium company Rosatom was going to stop sending uranium to the United States. What? Really? This was a stunning piece of news to those of us that are following energy markets. If this were true, the United States would suddenly be cut off from one of the biggest sources of enriched uranium in the world. How then would the United States power its nuclear power plants?
Sometimes you feel like a nut,
sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Well, it turns out that piece of breaking news was false, or so it would seem. Was someone testing the waters, perhaps? So then a few minutes later, the company sent out a message saying, no, that's not true. We have no plans to stop sending uranium to the United States. Sounds very, very fishy. Fishy indeed. That news sent uranium prices even higher. They're currently going through the roof. Uranium prices have skyrocketed over the past few weeks. So was this a trial balloon from President Putin? Perhaps a message? A message saying, hey, stop messing with us. Stop sending weapons to Ukraine. Keep pushing us and NATO into a nuclear war and see what happens. And we turn out the lights in the United States with the flick of a switch. Was it a trial on the part of Putin? Because that's exactly what would happen. With the flick of a switch, Putin could shut off America's nuclear power, which makes up 40% of all.
Shalom, shalom, all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem B'Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect out there. And to the elect lady. Early morning plantation. And as you can see, this place is through, man. The fall of an empire, Babylon, the Great America. All right. And the Heavenly Father is, making sure that Gog and Magog, Russia, all right, it's flourishing, even though, America has sanctioned so many ways, and we see that, Russia is still standing, and that's a reason because it's the Father, the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai first, because this is his movie. He has to have Russia prosper, and what they don't know is that Russia owns almost 50% of a lot of energy resources on the planet. They have the Arctic out there in the Arctic Ocean. They own almost half of that, in the sea where they're starting resource plants where they're going to be distributing and making more resources through oil. All right. Russia has made allies because it's the working of the Lord. He has met with, certain political nations and leaders like Belarus and the North Korea, Ping Jun. I don't know how to say his name, but you guys know who I'm talking about. What about China? The Lord is making sure that the set pieces are set up, man. And as you can see, man, the Middle East, with Hamas and Palestine, and, the Lord stirring up, and not to mention ships and submarine nuclear ships that are being stationed over there in the Taiwan and between China, and China sending aircraft and military ships over to the China and the Taiwan. There's a lot going on around the world, man. And this place, Babylon the Great, as well as more, as the scriptures say, he had laded himself with thick clay. That has put himself more into that. So we see that America is slowly falling based on prophecy. And the only thing that's holding this man, from crumbling immediately, falling, is the sword. All right? And there's a reason why he is still standing, because the sword, his military power. Now remember, the 3 unclean spirits like frogs, one of them is the American military, which holds this beast system. You have the Bank of England in the UK with the economy, and Vatican over there in Rome, and the false prophet, and the Pope, which is the religion aspect of it, the beast system. But America holds its military portion in this beast system. And that's the only reason why he is still standing, because it's military. It's about war. It's about money. And the Lord is doing this for a reason, because he's going have this man destroy himself by the sword. Scriptures say, live by the sword, you should die by the sword. Esau was given a mighty great sword in Revelation 6:4. Genesis 25, he was blessed with the sword. So this man is going to destroy himself by the sword. That's why the only thing he has right now is the sword, military power. All right, everything else is crumbling around him. The fall of an empire. Babylon the Great, the revised Roman Empire falling once again. And once it goes down, that's it. And the people know, the world knows, everybody's setting up their position in this upcoming World War III. All right? Can't escape the judgment, man. And this is, we're constantly speaking of the charagma. We're constantly speaking of the World War III martial law, because this is what's coming. And we're going to constantly bring these scriptures out. Revelation 11 and 14. All right? The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly, man. All right? And that's the time we're approaching, man. Let's read verse 13. Matter of fact, okay? Oh, my daughter just probably caught a chariot. All right, you see the shape. She's always catching chariots, man. Call her Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshai. My both of my daughters, my oldest, but that's another topic. The chariots of the angels are always around us. All right, verse 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. All right, and that cloud is going to be the fathership. When Yahweh Shah returns, the elect, the 1/3, will be beamed up and be exempt from the destruction that's coming to Babylon the Great. Verse 13, and the same hour was there a great earthquake. And what caused the earthquake? The nuclear missiles, the destruction. And the 10th part of the city fell. And we understand that Babylon the Great, America, has 10 FEMA zones. And in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000. And 7,000 is just 7 is completion. It's just going to be a lot of death. And the remnant, who is the remnant? The elect were affrighted and gave glory to the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai of heaven. Because even the elect are going to be affrighted somewhat, because we're still going to be in this flesh, you know, and what separates us from to be fully not fearing is the flesh, man. That's why we're constantly fighting. You know, we're trying to destroy this flesh, being transformed in the spirit, all right? And then what happened? The second war was passed, and behold, the third war cometh quickly. This is all going to happen in a domino effect, man. World War III. So let's listen to a little bit more.
Clean energy in the United States. Just look at what an energy crisis has done to Germany. A crisis of their own making, shutting off their nuclear power plants. Germany again imported more electricity than it exported in September. Take a look at this chart. In mid-April, the left-green Liberal Party shut down the remaining nuclear power plants at this spot on this chart. Smart move, liberals. Look what happened. And now look at this new data out this morning on manufacturing output in Germany. It used to lead Europe in manufacturing. Now look at them at the bottom of the list. And who's at the top of the list? This is, again, a disaster.
And this is all the doing of the Heavenly Father, man. See Russia on top, right? And Germany was on top at one time, but guess what? You know the story. You know what happened with the energy that Germany was relying on Russia's oil. And you know the disaster with that.
Of their own making. So did Putin get some kind of secret message about what Congress was about to do? Because when I asked you earlier if these guys in Washington are insane, they go ahead and totally make the case for me. The U.S. House of Representatives passed a new bill banning uranium imports from Russia. What the hell are they thinking? Are they insane? The United States has been sitting on mountains of uranium that they do not extract because of liberal environmentalists. And if they started right now to start doing this, it would take a minimum of about 4 years to get up and running and start fully extracting uranium in the United States. So now you're going to cut off your biggest source of enriched uranium from Russia, all because you want to play politics with the war in Ukraine? And they're doing this, by the way, as we're heading into winter. Oh, and oil prices are through the roof, teetering close to $100 a barrel.
Yeah, and what is that going to do, man? Do you understand? This is why we're going to need Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man. The Lord is crippling Babylon the Great. The Lord is hurting Babylon the Great. The Lord is hurting the economy, and this is definitely is going to crash the dollar. This is all designed, and this is when the Quran is going to be introduced, because they're going to try to wipe away this debt, you know, trying to bring in this new world order of currency, you know? And this is Esau for you. Oh, you know, we don't want to deal with Russia, so we're going to cut off the uranium distribution. Oh, yeah, we're just mad. A big kid. And that's all designed by the Lord, because that's going to affect the gas prices. That's going to affect the economy. That's going to go into more inflation, more prices, groceries, food. Babylon the Great is about to get hit, brothers. And we're going to need Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, man. I'm telling you. This is why it's going to be food shortages. You know, people going to lose jobs. You know, there's a lot going on. And those that want to continue to survive, you're going to have to take the MOTB. This is all by design. This devil knows what he's doing. But he's being controlled by Yahweh. B'Shem Yahushai, man.
So let's cut off our nose to spite our face. On top of it, African nations, which have been another source of uranium for Europe and the United States, are leading coup after coup after coup, telling the West.
And remember, uranium is a very highly resource of elements, you know, natural elements that are used to create nuclear weapons, man, nuclear fire.
Get out of our countries. Stop stealing our uranium.
What people want is to gain back their wealth. back their uranium, their gold, their iron, their phosphate, their oil, their gas. And this scares the West.
So the timing of all of this could not be more boneheaded. Congressman Jeff Duncan, who's on the Energy Committee on the House of Representatives, said this about the war in Ukraine. He said it's evident we need to wean ourselves off of Russian uranium, basically because it's a national security risk. Okay, wean yourself off of it, but don't go cold turkey. Almost all of the United States uranium is imported. 15% of it comes from Canada alone. By the way, put a pin in that for a moment. We're going to come back to Canada in a second. Now, remember, the Biden administration blocked all oil imports and natural gas imports from Russia. The only thing they continued to allow was enriched uranium. Oil prices shot way up. So too did natural gas. Do you see a pattern here? Self-inflicted gunshot wounds, artificial to allow was enriched uranium.
See this, man. Why the U.S. can't give up on Russian uranium? American scientists are worried that Russia may hinder the operation of nuclear reactors in the U.S. by stopping the supplies of uranium. If those fears come true, the U.S. will face a major electricity crisis. Do you see where this is going? All right? And this is why we always pray, man. You know, there's always a possibility of EMPs, electromagnetic pulse, you know, blackouts. We're going to need Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. This is the time that the Heavenly Father has spoken about Jacob's trouble is coming. We got to prepare ourselves spiritually, man. It's serious. You're going to have brothers, if you find yourself going through spiritual battles, heavy spiritual battles, because I'm speaking by experience. You know, I've been going through a very spiritual battle. Heavy demons attacking. It's because we're getting more and more close to the return, and we're getting ourselves more prepared spiritually to overcome what's coming. Every test, every training, you know, it always gets hard at the end. All right, it gets heavy. You know, the obstacles gets more challenging. And you know, we brothers that were in the know, the spiritual battle is get challenging. And I'm speaking, you know, through my experience personal. It's getting tough, and we got to continue to fight. It's very vexing, these demons, but we got to fight, man. You know, we know that the Lord is, you know, shall help us. He's not going to put the burden too much on us like that we can't handle it. So you see what's coming, and, you know, it just takes, and as you poking at the bear, man, and, you know, the eagle, America's poking at the bear. For what?
Oil prices shot way up. So too did natural gas. Do you see a pattern here? Self-inflicted gunshot wounds, artificially driving prices, squeezing us into an energy crisis that we cannot afford right now. I mean, I'll just ask you guys, what does it cost to heat your homes right now? And are you concerned about the winter time and how much your energy costs will go up? Meanwhile, the United States businesses appear to be going fully into nuclear. Elon Musk, over the past few weeks, has been tweeting like crazy about the absolute demand for nuclear energy, how safe it is, how efficient it is. He's been pressuring the United States government into expanding our nuclear reactor capabilities. Will they listen to him? They're going to have to now that they shot themselves in the foot. Oh, and we got word this week that Microsoft is getting in on the nuclear game. I'm not making this up. The demand for artificial intelligence data centers is off the charts right now. They're going to be building massive artificial intelligence data centers. And Microsoft says, forget oil, forget natural gas. We need a base load ability to be able to keep the power on nonstop. And the only way to do that, they say, is with nuclear power. Forget all of the other forms of power. We need nuclear power plants. And what they're going to do is they need these artificial intelligence centers to be built with smaller module reactors. So they're going to be using these modular nuclear reactors, which is the future of nuclear energy in the United States. Not these massive nuclear facilities that you're used to, but smaller modular nuclear reactors that companies then can use to power their businesses. And get ready for energy prices to continue their upward push. squeezing your wallet, making it more difficult for businesses to create profit as energy costs.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish watching this, but just keeping the brother's head out the body, the brotherhood. Lord willing, you was edified in the spirit. And I want to just say one thing in the spirit. You know, a couple of weeks ago, I had a dream that I seen a chariot, you know, elevating a power plant generator, you know, into the air. And it was actually controlling it. The chariot was controlling it with a force field. You know, I spoke to the brother about it, and, you know, and through the spirit, we believe that, you know, that we know these power plant generators create energy, you know, and electricity, you know, for towns and cities. And, you know, I believe through the spirit that the angels, the chariots, they're going to be involved in a lot of these blackouts. And also Esau Edom with his, you know, setup and snares and traps he's going to put on America. And this is all designed by Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, brothers. You know? And that's it, man. Lord willing, you was edified through the spirit. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Shalom.